Good morning. My name is John Paulin. I'm from the Human Factors Group of the Technology and Innovation Division, Innovation Management Division. Imagine that just looking at people or objects around you will make it possible for you to control them. Imagine that you are able to control robots with your eyes. Imagine that you'll be going to work by a robot that you can control with your eyes. In my presentation, I'll suggest that you are able to do this in about 10 years from now. This is Henrik, a former PhD student of mine. He's testing if a gaze tracker that he developed works for a woman with ALS disease. People with ALS become completely paralyzed by the end of the progress of this disease. They can only move their eyes in a late stage. She is typing with her eyes the words and letters that she wants the computer to say for her. The tracker plugs into a USB port of her computer, and it costs around $200. Just before Christmas, Facebook bought Henrik's company for an undisclosed amount of money. Why would Facebook do that? This is Mark Zuckerberg, the founder of Facebook. He's wearing a virtual reality mask that they have developed. Facebook imagine that we will meet our friends and colleagues in a mix of a real and virtual world in a few years from now. They call them Facebook Spaces. In these spaces, you may use your eyes to point with, just like the woman on the previous slide. We may use our eyes to make eye contact to other people and to blink naturally to them. Even though we're just presented as the cartoon face of Lucy that Mark Zuckerberg is talking to. First and foremost, Facebook would like to save a lot of computing power. You can only see you can only see details with your vision in a very narrow visual field of 1.5 degrees. This is about the breadth of a thumb in an arm-length distance. Outside this field, everything becomes gray and blurry. If glasses knows exactly where you're looking from split second to split second, they only need to show very small regions of an image in full detail. This so-called gaze contingent rendering may save 75% of image processing, and thus a lot of computing power. 10 years from now, you will not be wearing a bulky headset like the one Mark Zuckerberg had on his face. You'll be wearing one of these. They are lightweight glasses that lets you see both the real and a digital world in a mix. Several of the big companies in Silicon Valley are working on prototypes, including Facebook and Google and Microsoft. This is me testing a prototype of a virtual reality wheelchair simulator that we have built. I'm wearing a virtual reality headset with gaze tracking built into it. The simulator makes it possible for us to try out new ideas for what gaze might be used for. I can lower a wheelchair ramp by just looking at it and nodding with my head. And I can pull it back up again with a knot. Now, if mindless students have left their bikes in my way, I can pick them up with a look and throw them away with a knot. Gaze control of wheelchairs is a strong wish for people who cannot use their hands. This old feature shows a project that DTU management and ITU did together back in 2008. Sorry for it being in Danish only. Godt.
Man skal bare se på skærmen, og robotten kører sikkert afsted. I nær praksis bliver robotten her bygget ind i en kørestol, og så kan selv multihandicappede komme omkring bare ved at se på en skærm. Det lille kamera på robotten tænder billeder af omgivelserne til denne skærm. Her sidder en særlig eye-scanner, der nøjagtigt kan aflæse, hvad øjet kigger på. Og så kører det ellers bare derudad.
Hvis man ikke har andre muligheder for at styre sin kørestol, så vil det her være en kæmpe gave, fordi det at kunne styre sin egen kørestol, det giver en frihed, som man ikke kan opnå på anden vis.
Here you see a high-end telerobot, and it's like the one I have here on stage. You'll see it live later on today. It's made in the US and it costs more than $3,000. It's been used by project managers and students who are taking remote classes, and even children who are not able to go to kindergarten because they are sick for a longer period of time. If you could make the video roll here, maybe. It seems like we're stuck. Okay, now we got a somewhat okay. Can you make that video roll? No. Okay. What I wanted to show you is that this wheelchair have severe problems just passing this doorstep. It actually tumbles over. And I'll come back to why this is an issue in a few moments. This is a telerobot that we have built. It cost less than $1,000. It's made of open source parts that everybody can work with. And it has a basis of a wheelchair, low-cost wheelchair, that we have just dismounted from a normal wheelchair. So while this US robot is very sensitive to doorsteps, our robot can go everywhere, even outdoor. And we can control it with gaze from bed. This person laying there has a large eye tracker that can reach his eyes from the end of the bed, so the robot goes where he is looking. Imagine a student, a disabled student, who meets with his project partner and his advisor by logging in at a telerobot at DTU. He can even join them for coffee in the kitchen and follow them everywhere. Well, maybe not everywhere. Accessibility is soon to become robot rights. It's no more than a couple of centuries ago that humans started amplifying their vision with glasses. I hope to have convinced you that within the next 10 years, we are about to see another big change right in front of our eyes, with gaze becoming an option for hands-free control of friends on Facebook and of robots. A final word of goodbye written on one of our gaze interactive communication displays. You fly by your gaze towards the words and letters that you would like to say.
Tak for jeres opmærksomhed.